Hey everyone, Drew Deach here for Giant Freakin' Robot, and it's time to talk about a subject near and dear to my heart. Censorship. The enemy of the artist and tool of the fascist, censorship is always rampant in the film world. What do you think ratings boards do? I've given my thoughts about the Motion Picture Association before.
The MPA, the American-based movie ratings board. They are a censorship entity and nothing about them should ever be taken seriously, especially their cockamamie ratings and reasons for them.
But now, let's widen the net and take a look at some extreme cases across the globe where the censors won the battle. It's time to take a look at sci-fi movies that were actually banned. Possibly the most well-known time travel movie ever made. Back to the Future certainly has its challenging aspects, like a taboo comedic romance and outdated social acceptable norms and behavior.
Hey, I've seen this one. This is a classic.
But none of those were the reason why China decided to ban the film in its entirety. Back in 2011, China declared the very concept of time travel banned from movies and television shows. Why? According to the Chinese Government Censorship Bureau, known as the State Administration of Radio, Film, and Television, or SARFT, time travel as a concept, quote, disrespects history, and quote, producers and writers are treating serious history in a frivolous way, which should by no means be encouraged anymore. Time travel fiction allows writers to examine history as it relates to modern day, and some time travel stories even change history. Gee, I wonder why authoritarian regimes would have a problem with people re-examining history and challenging it. Katsuhiro Otomo's 1988 adaptation of his iconic manga changed sci-fi, anime, and film history forever. It ushered in anime as a major force for an adult demographic in America. However, back in 2021, Russia decided to ban the film and many other anime movies and shows. Their despotic reason why? It's that old pearl-clutching chestnut from a figure every censor emulates, Helen Lovejoy.
Won't somebody please think of the children?
Yes, the almighty state declared that Akira could, quote, harm the health and mental development of children. I'm sure it has nothing to do with depicting a corrupt and maligned military state taking advantage of children and turning them into mindless weapons for war. Nope, nothing to see here. Suzanne Collins made a huge splash with her 2008 novel and subsequent film adaptation about a dystopian future where children are used in gladiatorial entertainment for the masses, and eventually are crucial in overthrowing the fascist state. The Vietnam National Film Review Board, or VNFRB, was not thrilled about this and delayed the original film's premiere before banning it indefinitely. A spokesperson for VNFRB called the titular games, quote, too violent and ruthless. Funny enough, the book had been a big hit with Vietnamese youth. In Thailand, protesters were even arrested for doing the three-fingered salute as a sign of rebellion against the country's dictator. That event actually led to the sequel film, Mockingjay Part 1, getting pulled from certain theaters by the distributor. Sure seems like all these dictators don't like fiction that tells you how and why you should take them down. Before The Hunger Games got banned in Vietnam, heck, before The Hunger Games was even written, the idea of a sci-fi story about kids made to kill each other for a fascist government's amusement was already creating controversy in Japan. Battle Royale, originally a novel by Koshun Takami and also adapted into a manga, was as successful as it was controversial back in the year 2000. The film was shortly banned in Germany back in 2013, but that ban did get lifted. Instead, it's time to call out the US of A. That's right, We're enemies of art just like the rest of the world. Since the US doesn't have a government censorship board, this is an example of how a movie can get, let's call it, soft banned in America. Battle Royale's distributor, Toei, wanted a wide release in the States. The company was reportedly told by American lawyers representing a potential US distributor that they would be put in jail if they tried to distribute the movie theatrically in North America. One US distributor went as far as saying, quote, "In the US, it will never get past the MPA ratings board." Remember them? And the major theater chains will never play it unrated. Though it would sneak its way into film festival screenings, Battle Royale would remain effectively banned from theaters in the United States for 11 years before being properly exhibited in 2011. It just goes to show, if you think, oh, that can't ever happen here in the land of freedom, it already has. Think banning movies is a recent problem? Guess again, they've been banning movies since movies were movies. An Island of Lost Souls is a prime example. This 1932 adaptation of the H.G. Wells novel The Island of Dr. Moreau was one of the most controversial films of its day due to its depictions of malformed creatures, sexuality, and themes of race mixing and evolution. This one tops the charts with outright bans at the time in Great Britain, Germany, Hungary, India, Italy, Latvia, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Singapore, South Africa, and yes, even Tasmania. Whew, the censors really didn't like this one. That makes me even more excited to watch it again.
Have you forgotten the House of Pain?
The Matrix was a box office sensation around the globe in 1999.
Hi, you fellas.
When the time came for its bigger budget blockbuster sequel, The Matrix Reloaded, in 2003, one government censorship panel was more than ready to hit it with a ban.
Who are you?
Egypt's film board completely banned the sequel under the pretense that its exploration of religious and spiritual ideas could cause, quote, crises. The fact that the movie focuses on a place called Zion gave ammunition to Egyptian critics who believed the movie pushed Jewish and Zionist beliefs. So remember, the censors are okay with religion in movies as long as it's the right one. Funny how that changes depending on the censor. Before there were any Fury Roads or Thunderdomes, Mad Max tore through moviegoers in 1979 with a hypercharged look at the descent of civilization into chaos. That violent energy was not okay with the censors in New Zealand and Sweden. Specifically, this scene where a character gets torched in their car. Thankfully, this is an instance where the ban was officially lifted. It only took New Zealand 4 years to figure out their mistake and lifted the ban in 1983. Sweden, however, didn't cut the movie any slack until 2005. Do these censors have nothing better to do with their time? Sure seems not. There's no other movie that could possibly end this list. Based on the controversial novel by Anthony Burgess, A Clockwork Orange was adapted by Stanley Kubrick in 1971. It didn't take long before the film was being blamed for supposed copycat killings and gang violence. Things that never existed in human nature before the movie. Due to this social outlook on the film, as well as multiple death threats he received, Kubrick himself had the film pulled from British theater circulation in 1973. Warner Brothers honored Kubrick's wish to keep the film out of theaters in Britain until his passing. A year after Kubrick's death, Warner Brothers reapplied the film for British film certification and was accepted. This is the rare case where the creator was the censor, but he didn't need much help. The film had received official bans from censorship boards in Argentina, Brazil, Ireland, Singapore, and South Africa. Sorry, Stanley, we love your movies and can understand being afraid of death threats, but time has proven no censor, even the film's own director, will ever be able to stop the Druze. Or what the government wants to do to them. Looks like my time is coming to a close, but do you want to hear about even more banned sci-fi movies? Let us know in the comments, like the video, and subscribe to the channel, and maybe we'll make another one of these videos for you if this one does well enough. Until then, check out all the great videos we've got for you here at Giant Freakin' Robot, at least until YouTube decides to ban them.